Okay, welcome to tonight's coaching video, gentlemen. We just want to answer a quick question here for all of you Swifties, Taylor Swift fans, and even the ones who are not, like myself. Is Taylor Swift damaged goods? Is she the DG? Well, let's go ahead and look at the facts, okay? Because this is one of the most famous singers in the world, who is now 34 years old, already post-wall. If you look at photos of Taylor Swift now at 34 versus when she was, say, 21, 22, you can see a difference. Very, very big difference. Okay. However, a lot of people don't want to speak negatively about Taylor Swift because they will get attacked, right? You have, again, all these crazy ass people who are under her spell, no different than a witch spell or demonic spell, who will just run to her defense like, you're talking about. And, obviously 100% of the retaliation is personal attacks, character attacks, ad hominem. Oh, look at you, look at your shirt, look at that, whatever else they can find. So I'm just going to stick to the facts here, as we always do on this channel. We don't get into hyperbole, exaggeration. We don't, I don't need to personally attack anyone because you know what I have on my side? Facts. So again, starting with the truth, she is a 34-year-old woman, which in red pill definition is already post-wall. Okay? It's already post-wall. You're over the age of 30. Also, very important, is she has more than 10 sexual partners. Okay? Because total, and we're going to cover this tonight, she's had a total of, and these are just the public boyfriends, mind you. She's had over a dozen boyfriends, right? Over 12 boyfriends, and clearly those guys have all yacked up inside of her, and so we're talking about a dozen dudes who've been inside of her now. Plus, she's 34. Not to mention the fact that she promotes feminism at every turn and is an anti-Trumper. She promotes, they call it abortion rights. Let's just be honest, it's called killing babies. You gotta love the left and how they, and these feminists, how they constantly redefine terms so they don't sound so mean, so they don't sound so despicable. Let's redefine it. It's like you being a rapist and going, oh, yeah, these are just, I can't even think of something nice to say about that, but they would, because they're good at that. They're good at disguising evil for good. However, let's get into this, right? And she is against the patriarchy, FYI. I mean, the fact that she calls herself a Christian and is all for abortion, and I mean, no different than like Biden calling himself a Catholic, or the Pope calling himself a Catholic, and then, promoting transgenderism and homosexuality. I mean, no, you can't do that if you call yourself a Catholic or a Christian. Okay, and we're all sinners. I get it. We're all, none of us are perfect. However, I mean, these are real abominations here. So let's see. Taylor Swift's boyfriends, a timeline of the megastar's famous exes. Again, these are just the guys on paper, the guys she's gone public with. Okay, we're not talking about all those random penises that she's had on the side if she sees a hot backup dancer or a hot barista or anything and invites that dude back to her place. We're not talking about those guys. We don't know what the actual number is beyond these 12, right, guys? But let's dive into this here. Here she is here on the left. This is obviously a younger photo of her. You gotta love that too, how the Matrix loves to use these, childhood photos of the person that they're trying to purport. Okay, Taylor Swift is no stranger to the spotlight, both for her chart-topping hits and her high-profile romances. The pop sensation known for her string of famous exes, guys, has a knack for turning her relationships into lyrical masterpieces that leave us all wondering who's next. Lyrical masterpiece, I have to clear that up also, guys. She claims to write her own songs. A lot of her, obviously, her diehard followers, disciples, I'm going to call them at this point, these people aren't even thinking with rational thought anymore. They're just following her like she's some sort of god. And she's not. She's just a human being with a big marketing machine behind her. For us living in adult reality world, I lived next to Hollywood long enough. I know how these stars are made. It's all just manufacturing. Okay? It's manufacturing, man. So let's be honest here. Yeah, this she claims to write her own songs, yet on if you look at her albums, there's always a co-writer, and I'm sure now they're going to be removing the co-writer because she gets a lot of heat for not writing her own songs. Because when you have a co-writer, guess what? You're not writing your own song. You have a co-writer, you know, and pretty much that co-writer is usually doing all the heavy lifting, and you're just going, okay, can you put my ex-boyfriend's name in it and make it rhyme? Yeah, that's not you writing the whole song. All right, that's just you telling him what to do. I'm a Smashing Pumpkins fan, by the way. I like Billy Corgan and a lot of 90s alternative, and those guys actually wrote their own songs. If you look at any Smashing Pumpkins album and you look at songwriter, Billy Corgan is the lead singer of that group, you will see only one name, Billy Corgan. You see co-writer? No, it just says Billy Corgan, right? On like 99% of his songs. The 1% where he's co-written with one of his band members, you will see the co-writer, like one of his band members, James Iha or something like that, right? Co-written by James Iha. That means Billy did not write the whole song by himself. Like Taylor Swift, right? Most of her songs are co-writer. Okay, when you write the whole song by yourself, only your name will appear. All right, so let's just jump into her exes here. We don't need to dive into the Matrix's, adoration of her. Okay, now they're talking about Travis Kelce. I mean, the whole Travis Kelce thing, I don't know. I see that more as a publicity stunt. But she's like, okay, they're talking about her and Travis Kelce here. We can't wait to see how this unfolds between Taylor and Travis. And if she's finally going to get her happy ending, a.k.a. Wedding Bells. Wedding Bells, a 34-year-old who's been with over a dozen plus dudes, feminist, and abortionist and all. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but he's nuts too. So and he's pretty woke. He simps to anybody who will give him money. So maybe it's a match made in heaven, right? I'm no fan of Travis Kelce. Maybe it's a match made in heaven. Dude's like constantly acting douchey. So yeah, maybe it's a match made in heaven. So let's take a look at Taylor Swift's boyfriend list and find out how many boyfriends she's had, right? This article literally says, let's take a look at we're about to take a thrilling ride through Taylor Swift's boyfriend list. The fact that she has a list, that's already a red flag if you're looking to get married, if you're looking for a good woman to settle down with. That's already a red flag. Let's find out how many boyfriends, plural, she has had. So we go down this list here. Goodness. I mean, and again, these are just the guys that she's gone public with. Starting in 2008, and you cannot tell me she was a virgin when she met this dude, Joe Jonas. So this dude, starting in 2008, followed by Taylor Lautner, that's probably the guy. Isn't that guy in that movie, the vampire movies? I've never watched that. It's a total chick flick. But she probably just dated this guy because he was in the movie. 2009 to 2010, John Mayer. I mean, she's not really wasting any time because she goes from Joe Jonas to Taylor Lautner in 2009. And then also in 2009, she has another boyfriend, John Mayer, until 2010. And then in that same year, just like the year before, she meets another guy, Jake Gyllenhaal. And then the very next year, she meets Zac Efron. Then she dates Connor Kennedy. I don't even know who this dude is. In 2012, Connor Kennedy. And they break up in 2013. She immediately meets Harry Styles. Then she goes on to Calvin Harris. And then breaks up with Calvin Harris in 2016. And then that same year of 2016, she meets this other dude, Tom Hiddleston. And then the following year, she's with this guy, Joe Alwyn. I have no clue who these people are. Joe Alwyn, 2017 to 2023. And then in that very same year, she breaks up with Joe Alwyn, or they break up. The very same year, she meets Matt Healy. And obviously that didn't last long because in that very same year of 2023, after having two boyfriends, she starts dating, apparently, Travis Kelce in 2023. 3 dudes in just 1 year alone yacked inside this shit. So, I mean, are you telling me that this chick is in DG? Still telling me that, she's not a 92 Toyota Corolla with money? Unreal. I mean, this list alone, fellas, and this, like I keep saying, is just the public list of the boyfriends, okay? Like, I could tell you exactly who my girlfriends were over the last, you know, 10, 20 years, but I cannot tell you, much less can I recall off the top of my head the number, just like the random women that I dated and kind of spent a little bit of time with, and then that was it. Never made a girlfriend. Yeah, I can't tell you their names unless I really sit down and think about it, or you show me photos, and even then I have to really think. I mean, just the other day I was at Nob Hill Foods, which is like a grocery store, and I walked in there, and then this woman was like, Matt, oh my gosh, Matt, and I'm like, yeah, hey, I just didn't want to be rude, and I was like, hey, what's up? And then she was like, oh my gosh, and then it took a second, and then she was like, do you remember me? And I'm like, yeah, and it took me a second. I was like, Chloe, how are you, Chloe? She was like, oh, I'm good, but it took a second because she was never a girlfriend, right? Now thinking about her, I do remember her. I think about her after. I was like, oh yeah, man, Chloe's great. She was fine, but we just didn't work out. It didn't work out, right? But I'm not going to include that in my list of girlfriends, just like Taylor Swift is not going to include all those random dudes in her list of boyfriends. So, and this article just goes on to point, and there are many articles like this that are talking about Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend, starting with Joe Jonas. Another very interesting fact that you'll find about her ex-boyfriends is the guys who treated her like crap, the guys who basically, were bad boys in her relationship or dumped her, like Joe Jonas here in 2008. He basically broke up with Taylor Swift in a 27-second phone call. I mean, imagine that, right? Like, hi, Taylor. Listen, it's not working out. I want to end this. She's like, what? Yeah, I want to end it. Okay, I got to go. I got things to do, all right? You good? You good? I got to go. Like, basically dumped her like that, right? 27-second phone call. And she channeled, and this is the article saying this, she channeled her heartbreak into songs like Last Kiss and Forever Always about Joe Jonas. Talk about swift, no pun revenge intended. And then this guy, Joe Jonas, apparently went on to marry Sophie Turner, some other woman that she knew casually. And then after their divorce ended, Joe Jonas, Taylor, befriended his ex-wife. Is this weird to you? Befriends Joe Jonas's ex-wife, who was her ex-boyfriend, befriends that chick, and temporarily housed her in her New York City apartment for a while. And the two have been spotted on multiple outings together, including supporting Swift's new beau, Travis Kelce, at a recent Jets game. And hilariously enough, Swift has a song titled Vigilant SHIT. I mean, this chick is just classless. I mean, her fans are like 8 to 9, 10-year-olds, right? And she's cursing in front of them. I mean, that's just classless behavior. And you call yourself a Christian? I mean, I'm only on YouTube, and I avoid cursing, not only because of the algorithm, but because I just don't want you guys using crutch words like that. I want you to be able to get your message across without needing to resort to, profanity and expletives because, you don't have proper grammar. So, hilariously enough, Swift has it. So she wrote how many? Like 3 songs. She wrote 3 songs about this one guy alone from 2008, which so aptly contains the line, "Picture me thick as thieves with your ex-wife." That's in her song. Picture me thick as thieves with your ex-wife. I'm sure Joe Jonas can care less, but it just shows you how she is, how obsessed this woman, one of the most famous women in pop, is obsessed with one man who did her wrong, that she wrote 3 songs about, and is hanging out with his ex-wife because she can't get over him. And this seems to be the trend with all these other dudes. There he is right there. All these other dudes who did her wrong. Okay? She writes songs about him. John Mayer. This dude was 32 years old. She was 19 at the time. She was with him for a year. And then apparently he broke up with her too. What does she do? Writes a song about him called Dear John, which she penned after their breakup. No, she didn't pen that. She gave it to her co-writer, her little ghostwriter. Write me a song about John Mayer and make sure it's really mean. Make sure it really hurts him. Yeah, that's not called writing your song. Don't you? Here's the lyric in the song, guys. Don't you think 19's too young to be played by your dark, twisted games when I loved you so much? So yeah, it seems Taylor Swift, yeah, they seem to have bad blood with each other. Okay, so yeah, she's writing songs about this dude. Here's John Mayer. She also dated this guy from Vampire. Remember this dude in that movie? What is that called? That vampire movie? I forget. Twilight. That's what it's called. Call it Vampire. 2009. Taylor Lautner. And apparently she broke up with him, and only after a few months apparently, because obviously the dude was beta. The dude was not bad enough for her. The dude was probably too nice. So she ended it with him, and now they're still on friendly terms. You know what that means? That means he doesn't get a song. He doesn't get one of these bad boy songs that she wrote about her exes who, treated her like trash. No, he doesn't get the song. Only the bad boys do. You see how this plays out, guys? Do you see why some people call her DG? Like come on, man. If you see a duck, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So, yeah, here she is with Taylor Lautner, that she was only with for a few months. Her fans call him the best ex-boyfriend Taylor ever had was Taylor Lautner. He's the best ex-boyfriend. You know why? Because he's the beta male. He's the beta that just followed her orders, never put her in her place, never acted out, never had the balls to tell her when she was wrong. So he's the best boyfriend ever. The same guy that she no longer wants to date romantically, and the same guy that she has not written a single song about. No, only the bad boys. Only Chad gets those songs, right? Only Chad gets songs written about him. Not Beta Brad over here. Anyway, I'm not even going to continue with this article, guys. It's just pointless. Do you think Taylor Swift is DG? Let me know in the comments below. I've presented the facts, right? I've told you all I could tell you about her without having ever listened to a single song of hers, because I'm just not a fan. I don't care for her. I don't care for pop music. I don't care for most music today. Most of it is vile, and just geared towards depravity. And I'm a grown man. I just don't want that in my circle of energy, right? I just don't want. And plus, this woman, Miss Christian here, claims she's a Christian, performs satanic rituals on stage, right? She has been caught performing satanic, demonic rituals on stage. Calls herself a Christian. You don't see me performing demonic rituals on my YouTube channel, call myself a Catholic. No. So, is she DG, guys? Is she DG? Based on the facts I tell you, she's 34 years old, been with at least a dozen dudes. Based on the facts, right? We don't know how many more after that, obviously, but based on a dozen dudes. And as you guys know, I've told you before, when these women have been with more than 10 guys, it affects their ability to pair bond in a long-term relationship, right? Where most of those relationships end. I think you have only a 33% chance of that relationship succeeding after she slept with a 10th guy. And who wants to marry a woman who's been with, a dozen or more dudes? I don't care how famous she is, right? If they do, I could see guys doing it for money, right? Getting a little bit of that Taylor Swift money. But outside of that, yeah, her behavior as a female, as a single female, is not going to hold up, right? The big question I always ask for these women or DGs is like, how come you can't hang on to a man? What's the problem? Why do you bounce from boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend? When in her especially, she is one of the most famous females in the world, and you're telling me she can't find one man out of the 3.5 billion men out there to marry her, to put a ring on it, to be a good guy? Are you kidding me? This is Taylor Swift. She can't find one man out there? No. The reason is because damaged women can never find a man. No matter how famous they are, how rich they are, how hot they are, it doesn't matter, right? They are meant for the streets. No matter how famous they are, right? They still ride the carousel, and they're still DG. Drop your comments below, guys. See you in the next one.
All right, this is M from the 33 Secrets signing out here with the Lamborghini. Yes, it's my Lambo. Go to Matt Cross Official, my IG, see the entire process of me purchasing this vehicle. It took about 2 months to close, and the same guy who delivered my DeLorean also delivered my Lamborghini. TJ at Florida Exotic Transport. If you ever need to transport a muscle car, exotic car, he's your man. So very excited about this vehicle. It's actually a pretty rare find. It's Rossifesto Red, which is one of the rarest colors for Lamborghini. It's a $14,880 option, believe it or not. I was on a hunt for one for over 2 years, just like I was my DeLorean. Finally found one. It's got super low miles, 11K, not bad. And we're going to be featuring this car a lot more here on the channel for many years to come. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? Whew. Oh my gosh, take a look at this. It hasn't dried yet, but I'm still putting this on there. It's my IG tag. But as always, gentlemen, make sure you smash that like button. Smash that like button below. Do it for the Lamborghini and the DeLorean. I still have it, by the way. I'm not selling the DeLorean. I'll probably keep this car for a little bit, but DeLorean is going to stay. So we'll get the DeLorean back on here pretty soon. But enjoy the Lamborghini. And again, smash the like button. Smash that subscribe button as well. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, platinum pill content that I'm teaching you even further, best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you how to go out there into the world and approach and close the youngest, hottest, and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, same exact type of women that myself and all of my coaching students all around the world now are out there approaching and closing every single week. And I kid you not, we are making it happen every single week. And I want you to become one of us. I want you to join us. And right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me in Mastery. So take advantage of it. It's the best way to support my work. If you love what I'm doing here, if you love what I'm teaching you here, and you feel like I've added value to your life, this is the best way to pay me back. Get into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months of Mastery. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I'll see you in my next coaching video. I'm out with the Lambo. Till next time. Whew, so sweet.